that camera over there. It's connected to the TV fine, but even the microphone's not, which isn't a big deal because I can use mine.
So who else is gonna be here today?
Yeah, Cam said he was gonna come, Tom. Bob Reynolds.
Davis is zooming in. He texted me this morning. I'm having a tough time with this.
Anything new coming in or?
Yes and no. I mean, we had,
It's up there now.
there you go, Mary. How
Yeah,
you
that's
doing?
a lot of me up there.
I don't know, my lens, it looks kind of fuzzy. We were supposed to have that executive committee. There's that project in the village. It's multifamily on the creek. That
Oh, down like
26 unit housing.
like on 62, is it?
Yeah. Is that 62? That goes,
Right near Water Valley?
no. This one is right behind like the Key Bank
Oh,
drive-through
that's.
where this village put the snow removal. So he's having trouble with finances because the cost of that project, cost overruns and whatnot, but it's not bad.
It's gonna help with the infrastructure bill either. It's gonna push costs up.
Yeah, oh yeah. But he was supposed to, so, you know, Thursday I got a call and he had said that, thinning hair back there. What was I gonna say? So, yeah, he like cost overruns and this project is penciling out more than the standard site, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I told the attorney, I said, well, it's eligible, but you gotta come, you know, you gotta come and talk to the executive committee and see how it goes. And also the mayor. And he said, okay, he agreed to. And but then Thursday, we talked to him and he did not have, they didn't have the numbers put together yet. So I said, well, I'm not bringing these guys together if you're not ready. So, and that was pretty much all we had to talk about on Friday. So that's, I was just like, you know, I don't know how you guys feel. Like Andy's tough to get. So I don't know how you guys feel about 4 o'clock on Friday or whatever. So I was like, we might as well just cancel it. Had enough, but busy enough with
Zippity doo dah, zippity day. Wake up.
Hey, good morning.
Holy
Hey, Andy. Nice. Can you hear us okay?
Good morning.
I'm gonna up
Yes,
the
good morning.
volume.
How are you?
Doing well.
Southbound connected with.
You're coming in a little low. My volume is maxed out, so if you're saying anything, you might just have to speak on it. I'll let you know if we can't hear
There
you.
was some connection with Utera and Steelbound as well.
Roger that. Can you hear me better now?
I don't eat that
No,
much.
I
I have a
don't get it.
cooking wife.
Yeah, my volume
I'm
is
very
maxed out.
soft. That's all right. I prefer to listen anyway.
Andy, you're getting worse.
I would prefer to listen anyway.
Okay, well,
There's a fly.
I saw the fly
be here
too.
if you got
I think it came
Are
in
you
on
kidding
you.
me? Supposed to go down south.
give it a few more minutes. I know some people are joining in by Zoom. I know the applicants joining in by Zoom, so I'm not quite there yet.
Hey, Sean, can you hear me any better now?
Well, you're about the same, but you're audible, so don't stress over it.
Speak up.
Well, I'm-
Oh, you're in a mood
Hi, Bob.
today.
Oh, man, it's Monday. Let's go. This is the week of hell. Next week it's nice. Everything's off the table.
7:30 on Wednesday.
Yeah, you got a meeting Wednesday,
At 7:30.
town board meeting tonight. I'll be at that. Pitch Hamburg's on the agenda for
I know.
$200,000 grant. It's huge. So it's a busy week.
I was gonna go over to the Walleye, the
I
association
know.
with the windmills in Lake Erie.
Hi, Jennifer.
What are
They're having
they
a meeting
against it?
yeah, against it,
Yeah, they should be.
yeah.
I did not when I was a lead with the walleye. They're a good group of guys.
The Walleye is.
The big guy died though. Who was it? Used to have that.
I know Dick
Yeah.
Smith was
Morning.
involved in that.
Good morning, Sean. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Looking at the back of my head.
Thinking of the big guy.
It's okay. Your hair all looks perfect, Sean.
They'll
Why
come to
it's
me.
so,
Something to do with the connection.
it could be due to the fact that we're connected to the TV, but you think the TV would pick up the audio? I mean, the TV's got volume.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I got a setting for, oh wait, there is a setting under the microphone. Maybe I can flip it over to the TV.
Sean Hopkins is. a
Selective
developer, he's an
speaker.
attorney.
I'm gonna just try doing a different. Jennifer, can you say good morning again?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's a Bob Reynolds voice.
You've taught me well, Bob.
I
It's
like
nice
it.
having a little bit better technology.
Hey,
I
Mayor, how you doing?
Mayor.
Hey, Tom.
Oh, there goes the camera. I am like, I'm wired up like a intensive care unit over here.
How'd your surgery go?
Good,
Good?
good, yeah. Yeah, a lot brighter. Had the cataracts, yeah.
I think Nancy's gonna be going for one.
Oh, there's a sheet of it, yeah.
She had an issue with the retina,
Yeah,
came off, and they, they did the bubble thing and all that.
Yeah.
And then she goes, okay, let's come back. She's just at the eye surgeon and the eye.
Yeah, well, I came from you.
Christmas grass.
And she said, he goes, it's now a cataract, because within about a year of having a retina.
They coat-
Then the cataract pops out.
Yeah.
So,
it's not a bad operation at all.
My father had that and then they did some other things and they took his color blindness away from him.
Oh, yeah,
And he walked out and he said, holy cow.
it's amazing.
There's a blue sky. I never realized, when you're colorblind, there's
A lot, even like I had this one eye I was pretty much blind in
Yeah.
because of the cataract, but man, what a difference.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great.
my child was colorblind. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. He was, I think, red, green.
They have, there's certain colors they don't
Yeah,
see. and
it's
stuff.
it's fairly common.
That's great,
Yeah.
We don't,
I always know a couple of people that have trouble.
can't be an electrician. You're not supposed to be an electrician.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
so the guy is looking good then.
They can.
Yeah,
So
I
you
agree.
the lenses, so you-
Yeah,
You can sit it.
well, yeah, but I'm sure I'm gonna have classes. Distance wise and reading. It's
Hey, that's not bad,
No,
right?
it's not bad. Morning, Kim.
All right, I'm gonna get rolling here. This is a public hearing of the Town of Hamburg Industrial Development Agency. As per the notice, Monday, November 15th, 2021, 8:30 a.m. in person and via Zoom. Please take notice, the Town of Hamburg Industrial Development Agency will hold a public hearing to consider the following proposed financial assistance requested of the agency. Members of the agency will be in attendance at Hamburg Town Hall, Room 1, 6100 South Park Avenue, Hamburg, New York. RPJ Holdings Incorporated and Johnson's Tap House Incorporated, as may be amended by name, the project, have requests for agency assistance in the form of a lease only or lease back with mortgage transaction for total project amount not to exceed $4,080,000. The assistance contemplated by the agency will include mortgage tax abatement, sales tax exemption on any materials and or equipment purchased for incorporation into the project and real property tax abatement in accordance with existing agency uniform tax exemption policy and guidelines as amended. RPJ Holdings Incorporated, the lessee, and Johnson's Tap House Incorporated, as may be amended, the tenant has entered into negotiations with the officials of the Town of Hamburg Industrial Development Agency with respect to lease back with mortgage for the new construction of an approximately 17,490 square feet brewing and distilling facility located at SBL 159.00-1-13. This is at 0 Lakeshore Road in Hamburg, New York, by the lessee as agent for the agency for lease to the agency and lease back by the agency to the lessee. The proposed project will allow the lessee to expand its operations and employment in the town of Hamburg. We're here to present information relative to this project and the application at the public hearing. Anyone interested may attend and will be given an opportunity during the public hearing to make statements. Written comments may be submitted before the hearing, and we will review them during the public hearing. Okay, at this time, I'd like a motion to open the public hearing at 8:33 a.m.
So moved.
Thanks, Cam. Thank you, Bob. The hearing is now open. On Zoom, we have the project applicant, Bob Johnson.
Morning.
Good morning, Bob. You're looking at the back of my head, so I apologize, kind of awkward. But can you just kind of speak to the project here for the group?
Sure. Yeah, we're getting ready to build this brewery and distillery to kind of expand the dinner choices in the town of Hamburg. And we're looking into partnering with Steelbound Brewery out in Ellicottville to do the beer piece and help us with the brewing and distilling. And then obviously with our background at Peg's Place in the food, we're looking at having the tasting rooms, and we'll take care of all the food.
One thing that I was most impressed about, now if you could share, is just to the kind of the succession planning for your current staff that that you've had a lot of long-term employees that you want to kind of move up in the industry.
Absolutely. So we've been at Peg's Place now, it'll be 19 years coming up in May. And one of the difficult things is that, I keep saying this, the conversation I'm having is this is a legacy business. And it's a legacy business in the sense of we've been here for a long time. I've had staff that have been with me since we opened. And I have my management team that the least tenured manager has been here, I think 11 years. So in order to keep these people and keep them happily employed and, financially successful, you can only make so much money in bacon and eggs, right? So we've looked at what's the next way to increase our income and increase the ability to pay these people better. And the brewing and distilling and obviously our background in food is going to give us that opportunity. And the plan is to take half of my management team to the brewery and leave the other half at Peg's Place, because we've been, as we've kind of promoted people, you can only have so many managers in our business. So it's, how do we get them to the next level? And this is going to give us that opportunity. That's what we're most excited about.
Thank you. And as stated in the application, employment at the project site will include 30 full-time and 40 part-time employees within 2 years of project completion. So that's once the project gets up and is fully running.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Hey, Sean. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just agreeing. Yep, that's our plan. Listen, obviously everyone's in the same situation right now, trying to find good employees and trying to find employees having the ability to offer full-time brew positions and full-time chef positions in their managerial positions and stuff like that. I think gives us an advantage over a lot of other places. And obviously what we've done here in the past is keep people for a long time and keep them successfully employed. And I think that'll just continue on with this new venture.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean.
Yes, and this is,
Hi, go ahead.
oh, go ahead and please introduce yourself, Sean.
Yeah, good morning, members of the board. Sean Hopkins. I'm the attorney for Mr. Johnson. I just want to follow up on some of the comments Bob made. First of all, we appreciate Sean and his staff working with us on this application. We've been through a fairly extensive review process with the town's planning board. I think you've seen the architectural elevations of the building that were designed by David Sutton of Sutton Architecture. The project will result in a multi-million-dollar investment. We do think it's clearly eligible under the UTEP. As Bob indicated, it's going to result in jobs being retained and all additional job growth, and obviously very substantial benefits, even if the pilot is put in place for taxing jurisdictions in terms of not only property taxes, it will also generate very substantial sales tax, income tax. We do think it's a great project. Many of you are familiar with that particular site. It really is a site that is an infill redevelopment site. It's got some particular challenges associated with it, given its topography and its history. So we think it's a great project. We hope that you view it favorably, and we'd like to proceed.
Thank you. Do any members of the board have questions regarding the project?
I do, but if anybody wants to go first, go ahead. Does anybody else got any? Good morning, gentlemen, and I really think this is a great project, but I just got a couple. I was going over your financials and stuff that were submitted, and I just want some clarity on certain areas. On page 5, it said upon building the project, construction costs are higher than expected. You may be forced to reconsider the size and scale of the project. Do you guys still think that is in play this far along in the project?
You know what? So yes, it is, because here's what's going on. We're sitting down. I'm actually sitting down with the general contractor tomorrow morning because there's some serious lead time questions on the building itself. So we're doing a masonry building, obviously, to protect against the wind and weather over here on the lake. And one of the questions is you start getting into it, and again, this is not my realm, but it's the floor joists and the bar joists for the concrete floors. There's a huge lead time, like there's a 6 to 8 month lead time. And obviously, as we all know, the cost of steel is up 60%, I was just told. So as we start looking into these things, we have to start, obviously there's a budget in mind and trying to keep that in play. Maybe we don't go as large with the building, or we don't go the 3 stories rather than the 2. Those are the questions. In my heart of hearts, I don't want to change it at all. But realistically, I also have to, there's a budget and there's some constraints there.
The reason I ask that is because obviously if you have constraints, it takes 6 months to do things, and we start approving this to go forward, the tax breaks and everything else on that. Do you think you might be coming back and asking for extensions or anything like that in the future on this?
Honestly, you don't ever want to say no, but my thought here's the deal, right? I want to get this built sooner than later because I'm already out of pocket and we're already paying, making payments to things. So until the building's built, there's no revenue generated. So I'm in a hurry. Let's put it that way. Our game plan is to open in September. I'm of 2022. Yes.
Okay. That's a rough game plan.
Well, listen,
like you said, with the lead times and everything like that.
Yep. And to be totally honest with you, we're already, I had conversations over the weekend to start ordering equipment for the actual, because that's a concern too, right? Is the actual restaurant equipment. So we're having conversations about making those orders so that, if it is a 6 month lead time, we're still getting it in. I might have to warehouse it for a little bit, but I'd rather warehouse it than not have it.
Okay. And I had one other question too, and it's just a technical question. On your estimated cost, you have 0 for infrastructure work. So I'm assuming you put all that infrastructure work into your building construction, but you must have to have infrastructure work with the Route 5 and everything like that to go on with the town board, they all took a look at that?
Yeah, so
This is Sean. They did. So we have to obviously install a driveway. We have to install a very complicated stormwater management system that complies with the stormwater quality and quantity requirements of the DEC. So yeah, there is substantial infrastructure, but that's built into the project number. There's no offsite infrastructure is what's meant by that answer.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll just talk a little bit to the pilot revenue, just to clarify for the board. So this site is currently assessed as vacant land. If this project would be approved in the building constructed to the extent that is outlined in the application, between the town, county, school, and special district taxes, it would garner $185,096, $185,096 rounding up over in new revenue to the taxing jurisdictions over the life of the pilot. One thing that was mentioned was the ancillary benefits of all the employment taxes paid as a result of such a labor intensive project. So as we run through our economic modeling software, the benefit ratio is $10.70 for every dollar of abatement granted. So for every dollar abatement granted, there's $10.70 in benefit. So it's a little bit, that ratio is higher than typical. And largely that's just because of, the heavy labor nature involved in a restaurant operation and the tax garnered through that. But certainly this would involve the local labor policy and local construction benefits on the short-term basis on the year that Mr. Johnson had talked to for the construction, but then going forward, the generated employment at the project site.
And I assume Mr. Johnson understands the labor part of everything, trying to be as much local labor
Yes.
contract. Okay.
yeah, and honestly, that's what that's the same thing with employees going forward. Is generally all Hamburg-based people. But yeah, we're working with all local construction guys.
John, I have just an internal question for you. So if we approve this at the next meeting, when does this sales tax abatement take effect? Immediately?
No, so they have to, so once a project is approved, generally speaking, then Jennifer and I will draft the project and agent agreement, essentially the project contract.
Which has been drafted and sent to Mr. Hopkins.
Oh, good. So following an approved resolution, once that gets reviewed by the applicant and executed and then countersigned by the IDA, they're required to remit at least 25% of the agency fees. And then we can send off the sales tax authorization in New York State and then provide the applicant with the appropriate documents, the sales tax exempt form. So we can turn that around typically following an approved resolution within a couple of days.
Oh, okay.
If need be.
So because he's trying to start construction costs now and
Yeah.
he's buying stuff. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, this is Sean. I do want to confirm that Jennifer, as she always does, has already provided me with the draft of that document.
Perfect.
On the fixtures and equipment, does that include all the brewing equipment as well? Or is that built into the fit out?
No, the brewing equipment's actually built into the fit out. That fixtures and equipment is actually like restaurants,
Okay.
basic stuff like tables, chairs, that kind of thing.
Okay,
Right, so that
yeah,
would
so
be-
that's important. to
Yeah,
look at.
it is. Is that equipment something that you can purchase like in New York State, or is that an out of state like brewing equipment that states and so forth?
I didn't.
The brewing equipment, because there's such a difference in quality between the stainless steel and the actual way it's done. Listen, I'd like to purchase it in New York, but I don't know if that's even an option, to be totally honest with you.
All right, does anyone have any other questions in the room here?
Is there any written stuff?
We've received no written comments on the project. Any of the participants via Zoom have any questions or comments on
Hey, Sean,
BJ Holdings? Yes, Andy.
I don't know if you guys can hear me okay, but I just wanted to say, I've looked over the packet, and it really looks like a great project for our community. I appreciate the investment that your business is doing. And I'm looking forward to seeing this project get in the ground.
Me too. Thank you.
I agree.
Yep.
Can't wait to try it.
The building design is really, I think it fits the area too, really well.
So
Yeah, that's exactly right. Right. One of the things that we wanted to do is obviously the waterfront element and kind of the right look, right, for this area and for what we're trying to do in our business as well. So we're excited about it.
Need a motion to close the hearing?
I'll do the first, second, and third.
Okay.
And, okay, for the second time, does anyone have any questions or comments on RPJ Holdings, Inc. and Johnson's Tap House, Inc.? For the third and final time, any questions or comments on RPJ Holdings, Inc. and Johnson's Tap House, Inc.? All right, a motion to close the public hearing at 8:46 a.m.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mayor. And the public hearing is now closed. Thank you, Mr. Hopkins and Mr. Johnson. We will review the inducement resolution at our Board of Directors meeting this Wednesday at 7:30.
Great. Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
You too. Thank you.